think I found the video you guys are talking about. All right, so let's see. Where is, let's see, how retirement has been. Experience with Greg Pop. I'm sure Captain Jack has a lot to say about that, huh? Kawhi's fallout with the Spurs. All right, this is what you wanted me to look at. It's weird. I was like, did we already look at it? It's okay. If we did look at it already, we can go over it again. And then you said Tony Parker has something to say after this. So you're going to have to direct me in that area. I have no idea what Tony Parker said about this. Also, you know what? For funsies, I'll speed up just a little bit. Oh, crap. You guys can't hear anything. Sorry. All he said was Aldridge talked about the fallout between Pop and Kawhi or whatever.
Hold on, what was kind of your take?
I saw it when I was there, so I know he saw it.
I mean, I saw some of what was happening. Till this day, I never asked Kawhi, me and him, what happened. I've heard from other people of things that have happened. I can give you my mathematics of what happened.
Is it weird? Okay, so I don't know. I guess it's subjective, but like, can you call yourself someone's friend or one of their best friends if this is some information that you never asked and you don't even know, or this is a conversation you haven't even approached? I mean, I know Kawhi is kind of like to himself or whatever, but I don't know. Can you be friends with someone and not know this or talked about it? I just feel like he's just been good teammates with Kawhi. He liked Kawhi, but like, I don't know.
I think his uncle had a lot of what to do with what was going on off the
influence.
court.
Yeah,
a lot of influence with it. And I think once his uncle saw some distasteful things in his mind, it was like, all right, we're not doing this. You know, we're not gonna, because San Antonio, they don't treat anybody like superstars. And I think his uncle kind of, and rightfully so.
Right. Only 3 people for a long time.
You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so. He should have been treated like a superstar. But Timmy, so Pop was spoiled. He never had to treat Timmy like that because Timmy never needed. He never cared to be that. But I think
I need some. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be real. All right, I'm gonna be so real right now. I agree that superstar players should be treated like superstars, right? Like, I think back. I mean, I'm not old enough to actually remember Cowboys championships. That's so sad. I hate the Cowboys so much. Oh my God. But one thing that I heard, or at least I saw I think it was an interview, and Jimmy Johnson talked about how if Troy Aikman was sleeping during one of his not practices, but like one of their film studies and whatnot, he would tell them to wake up. But then if another player were to do it, they're off the team, right? And I get that that's being treated like a superstar, right? You get that little bit of you got a lot of leverage, and you get that special treatment. Kawhi Leonard, I just need to know what be treated like a superstar look like, because I know, and we know this, that when he got to the Clippers, they actually thought some of this was a little ridiculous, like all of the requests that they had. I think that it really just came down to Kawhi's uncle feeling as if this is how a superstar is treated in the NBA. From my perspective, it doesn't really seem like Kawhi was treated unfairly. And I thought, at least from what I've seen, I mean, I wasn't there, I'm not in the franchise, but it seems like Kawhi was treated like a superstar. Like, they respected him significantly. Being treated like a superstar for one is you're not just gonna be cast away. You know another reason why I think Kawhi was treated like a superstar? One thing that stands out, it's how long the Spurs dealt with this. This was a whole season of this BS, and it took so long for them to finally, you could physically see them get irritated, right? But like they dealt with it for the longest. They let him bring his people in, get reevaluated. They knew that he left. They were just kind of waiting for him to come back. Like, it was a lot of patience, bro. I feel like you do that with a superstar, because no other player on the team would have been able to do that. No, Danny Green wouldn't have been able to do that. Another role player wouldn't be able to do that. But Popovich even went out of his way near the tail end of things to try to talk to Kawhi, right? They didn't want to trade Kawhi. To me, that's superstar. I don't know.
You know, Kawhi had the injury. Tony said some things in the media, and then Pop said some things in the media. I think, you know, Uncle Dennis was like, nah, it's not, because Kawhi came back for 9 games, and after that, he's like, you got to talk to Kawhi's people.
In my opinion, Uncle Dennis created the discord, created the issues, and then when we reacted, he used that as a way of saying, see, they don't want you.
And that, to them, from my understanding, I think they saw that was disrespectful, and that, you know, some of the things Tony said was like, they were like, okay, that's disrespectful. And then they were like, we're not, for what the rumblings were, he's not going to be seen in the San Antonio Spurs uniform again. So yeah, I never asked him what happened. You know, one day maybe we'll get a chance to chop it up when he's done hooping. But I was fortunate enough to play with him in San Antonio and also play with him again in Toronto. We had a great year, and
that's why I got traded though.
Danny Green's hoping to bring Kawhi like on his podcast or whatnot. Talk about it later.
Man, it was getting too close when I was there. Last time I was there.
Kawhi?
You know about that? I'm telling you.
Yeah, but also
he was coming to my house. They didn't like that.
was bugging out.
They didn't.
Let's hear the other side because we only get one part.
I remember this very.
I wonder why. I wonder why they wouldn't want people hanging around. I don't know.
Very vividly, but like, you know, Stack he's not gonna just let people talk to him certain way. He's not gonna just let people practices just go the way they're supposed to. It's game like, you know, we're gonna talk shit.
And that's all the playing time I was getting at the time.
And you know what I'm saying? So
it was practice.
So, you know, we in practice, and you know, in the system they like things done certain way. We're gonna run this play though, and you know, you're supposed to.
Not me.
Okay. We have went over this. We went over this part, I think. So, because I remember this, I won't go over this again. I thought this was ridiculous. I thought Jackson was being a child. All right, you guys said Tony Parker had something to say. No one sent me the Tony Parker thing. I have no idea what you're talking about. What was he on? What was the podcast? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I have no idea. See? It was on an article of Tony Parker. Can't find it. Maybe Newsweek. I don't know. Maybe that should be a separate section. So if you can send that to me on Twitter or something, I'll feel free to go over it. But be honest with you, man, I don't really see it. Let's see. You said Newsweek. Nah. I mean, I got stuff from 2018. Let's see here. Basketball Network. Okay, so this is July 27th. I could have gone anywhere, but I trusted the Spurs doctors. Parker's subtle dig at Kawhi revealed the fracture that tore the Spurs apart. Is this it? Behind the scenes, one of the most stable. Yeah. Same injury, different response. Oh, this is it? A fracture that never healed. By March, the tension has reached to a boiling point. We know all this. Popovich gave a few details. It's still debated whether Leonard made the right call. He wanted to win the championship in Toronto. Man, come on. While Parker, a Finals MVP, was nearing the end of the day, he still embodied the. I don't think any of this is recent. Yeah, none of this is recent. They just re-released like what happened back then, I guess. Yeah, there's nothing here, my boy. But yeah, Tony was right. It's like this, y'all. I'll be transparent. I don't think Tony Parker, it was like professional the way that he digged at Leonard. And we all know that Tony Parker can be a little selfish sometimes. I don't think it was great the way that Popovich did it. But also, I don't think any of it mattered, right? I think that all that did was create discourse where some people think that could be a reason why he left, right? People that just didn't pay attention to the situation. And I don't believe that. I think that, he kind of created that uncertainty and that irritation amongst his teammates, and it leaked out, right? Spurs are typically pretty professional, and they try not to, tell you too much of what's going on with the team. But that in particular, I feel like it rubbed people the wrong way. We had Danny Green even having to have like a talk with Kawhi, like he wanted to have a group talk, right, in the locker room, just the players. I mean, it was ridiculous, He was gone regardless. I don't think if they were nicer to Kawhi that he would have stayed. So at the end of the day, I don't think that they were right, but I also don't think it mattered. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody walk up to you, if somebody walks up to you and like bump you on the shoulder and you like punch them in the stomach, okay, maybe you did a little too much, right? But I also understand, Actually, it would have to be, this would be equivalent of like bumping you on the shoulder several times. Like they keep doing it, right? They keep doing it and it's just bothering you. It hurts a little bit, not really, but they just keep doing it. And then you just like full on punch them in the stomach, punch gut, all your might. Falcon punch it. And it's like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. I mean, that was a little overkill, but wasn't going to stop them from hitting you on the shoulder. He should have been up front and said, don't make me the cornerstone of this team moving forward since I want to go to LA. I would have at least respected that. Well, it was also about image, right? Like his entire camp threw the Spurs under the bus. It would have looked bad for his image any other way. And it was kind of easy for non-Spurs fans to just assume that because Popovich already had like this image of being kind of like a dictator, right? He wasn't, but like people saw it that way. And, so for some cracks to be in the franchise, it didn't shock quite a few people. They didn't need much convincing to say, oh, okay, of course. Yeah, they've been efficient, but there's something beneath the surface here. There's something wrong with the system, right? They're not going to win for the next 15 years. But yeah. People think Pop was a spy too. People think a lot of things. All right, that was interesting though. That was interesting. Thanks for showing me that.